This weekend, we are watching the potential for significant weather to occur across much of the United States. This is going to be an all weekend event, starting in the southeast between Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and possibly into Georgia on Friday night, right around 9:10 p.m. local time. We are watching the potential for significant tornadoes to develop. This will continue throughout much of the weekend. It'll thankfully wane overnight, but the image you're seeing on screen now is for Saturday at 4 o'clock p.m. So the early, mid, possibly late afternoon. We are expecting storms to pop up across much of the Mississippi region, and right around the Mississippi-Louisiana border. The dark dots you can see on screen show the highest potential for significant tornadoes to form. That is in the magnitude of EF3 and greater. These are storms that occur once or twice in a lifetime and should not be taken lightly. Make sure you have several ways to get notified of severe weather, such as a weather radio, your cell phone. Have your emergency go kit ready, and be prepared to take shelter in your tornado safe location at a minute's notice. Okay, Ryan.
Thank you, Dylan, for that little educational portion, along with this series of storm that is definitely brewing for the southern United States. And obviously, we're taking some pauses in between sentences and words because this is just a magnitude that we have not seen in a long time. The Storm Prediction Center has a moderate risk for this storm 3 days out, and as you can see right here, this is a moderate risk, and it's a level 4 out of 5 on the severe storm scale. I'm sorry if I'm not as professional tonight as y'all would like me to. This is just a pretty significant storm that you guys should be taking very seriously. If we go ahead and if I go back to the significant tornado parameter and I click on this cell, like I say, I click on this area of Mississippi, this is basically what you call a sounding, and this is a photograph up here, and it's basically has a kink in the photograph, which is never a good sign. Also, the possible hazard type says PDS tornado, which means particularly dangerous situation. And on the effective layer, STP, which is strong tornado potential, we are into the EF4s. In some spots, Dylan and I have seen off camera and off recording, I forget what spot, right here basically, this is the spot, actually I just found it, almost off the charts of EF4 plus on the STP, and this is very unheard of. Yes, it is very unheard of. Go ahead, Dylan, sorry.
Yeah, and as Ryan was saying, that is a very dangerous situation. You need to have your go kit ready. Do not take the warnings lightly.
Please, yes. Sorry, Dylan, to cut you off. Please do not take these warnings lately. And I know it was a meme recently about The Bachelor, the TV show, The Bachelor, whatever it's called. Somebody would rather watch The Bachelor than getting a tornado warning on their screen. But seriously, if you get a tornado warning this weekend or any time in the next week or so, do not take this storm lightly. This storm has all of the ingredients times 5 for the most part, and I'm not over exaggerating here. it's pretty scary. Just what this image on your screen right now is telling me is pretty scary. I know everybody might not be able to read this image here, but Dylan and I can. And
Yeah.
what this is saying is not good. So if you're not in the weather community, or if you don't understand much about what's on your screen, please take our word and have that way to get warnings. Have that way to escape or get to your most interior room of your building or your basement and protect yourself as much as you can. If you get a tornado warning and you're in Mississippi, Louisiana, or Alabama, this is very unheard of.
It's very dangerous.
Yeah, if we take a look at this cape here, we're talking about 2,500 joules to 3,000 joules per kilogram, and this is pretty significant as well. Basically, anywhere on here in these states down here that we're talking about has a PDS possible hazard type, and this is such a widespread PDS hazard type that this is definitely telling us that there's going to be a significant outbreak here. I don't want to quote somebody, but I saw from a professional and long-time dedicated storm chaser who posted on Twitter. I'm not going to mention his name because just in case he was incorrect. I'm not saying he is. Just in case he was incorrect, I don't want to throw his name out there. Of 50 to 100 tornadoes in this area. That's just very sad. And if tornadoes do get going in this area, they are going to be pretty strong. And there's going to be a lot of them. This could be one of the most significant outbreaks we have seen in a long time. Dylan, back to you.
Yeah, so as Ryan was saying, the image you see on your screen right now shows the available energy in the atmosphere. And it looks very energized, for lack of a better term. Essentially, it's just like a spark in a gun with a load in a fireworks factory.
Yes, like we would call it gunpowder loaded in the barrel.
Exactly. It'll just one spark and it'll light up the whole region with storms, and that's a bad situation.
Very much so. Dylan, do you have anything else to further say?
I have nothing else to say other than, I know I'm sounding like a broken record. Make sure you have several ways to get your warnings. Make sure you turn on wireless emergency alerts on your cell phone. This can be done in the phone settings area. Look up on Google or your search engine of choice for specific instructions based on your phone. You also want to have your NOAA weather radio, and your television will also get these alerts by default. I cannot stress this enough. Please make sure you stay safe, stay weather aware, and make sure you check on your neighbors, family, and friends throughout this weekend.
Thank you again, Dylan. I just wanted to say one more thing before we close this video. I know it was a pretty lengthy video. This is definitely a lot more than what we wanted to say, but it's a pretty significant event. And mind you, this is just previewing Saturday. If I go back to the SPC here and I go to day 2, this is a Friday. We're talking about, a 10% hatched risk from Illinois and Iowa all the way down to Mississippi and Alabama, with a wind risk of 45% hatched, basically in the same areas from Tennessee up through northern Illinois, and a hatched 30% risk of hail in Illinois and those areas down to Tennessee. That's day 2. And then obviously the day 3 shifts south, and you're talking about Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama in that moderate risk, with Tennessee, Georgia, and those states, and even the panhandle of Florida in the enhanced. And then day 4, we're talking about anywhere from PA, New Jersey, Virginia, all the way down through the northern part of Florida. Obviously, this is a multi-day outbreak potentially here. And this, again, is a significant tornado parameter for forecast hour 50 from this time of recording. So this is valid for Saturday, March 15th at 20Z, which I believe is 5 p.m., Dylan, if I'm correct. Or somewhere,
yes,
somewhere around that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure exactly at the time. I don't know off the top of my head. But if Dylan's saying yes, that should be about accurate. If not, pretty close to it. But like I said, around 4 or 5 p.m., this is a significant tornado parameter. And it's just very, very concerning. And then it kind of fades away at about, I would say, midnight. But
yeah,
still, I would still have your alerts on because this could still get out of hand after those hours. And I just wanted to show this last screen here before we get off of here. This is supercell composite, which means basically this is basically the juice for supercells to develop here. Now the juice is saying 21 out of, this could be off the charts pretty much. I mean, obviously this key down here, it just says about 20. But we're talking about PDS Tor, EF4 plus, most likely. If that's not saying that you're gonna get this here, that's saying, if rotation occurs, if a tornado occurs, and if a tornado can get to that point, then it will occur. It's not saying it will occur. We're not saying that. Do not get us to the wrong. Just please be prepared, because it definitely can happen. But I don't want to say the wrong words here because this is a very significant event. But I just want everybody to be prepared for this thing. I don't live down here in Louisiana or Mississippi or Alabama, but if I did, I wouldn't be there. I wouldn't be there for Saturday. I'm just saying that right now. I'm not trying to scare anybody more than they already are, but I would not be there. We're talking about a potential PDS tornado watch that could be issued potentially Friday night or Saturday morning for these areas. Maybe even outside of those tornado potentials, we're talking about high winds as well, and potentially large hail. All the ingredients are there. The moisture is there, coming straight out of the Gulf. The wind shear is ridiculous, off the charts. The supercell composite is basically off the charts. The significant tornado parameter is literally, quite literally, as Dylan and I were discussing before this video even started, are off the charts. We're talking about an off the charts type of system here that has not been seen in many years.
I've never seen it off the charts.
Dylan, I'm gonna go back to you just for another 30 seconds. You can close out this video. But before I go over to Dylan, I just want to say thank you guys, and please be prepared for the storm. Please have the NOAA radio. Please have every way you can get that watch or warning or whatever. And please make a preparedness list, or a list that you can make tonight or tomorrow. Whenever you're seeing the video, make that plan in case a tornado or something is issued for your area. Because if this was over my hometown right now, I would, and mind you, I'm into weather. If this is over my hometown right now, I would be a little bit nervous. I'm just gonna say that. Over to you, Dylan.
Yeah, as Ryan said, if I were in this situation, I don't live in the area that's getting impacted by these storms directly, but I would be getting my supplies ready tonight, or at the very latest early tomorrow morning. We are quite literally, I've never seen storms quite as significant as this, forecasted this far out. I'm not trying to say this to scare you. Ryan and I are saying this as a means to prepare you to get ready for these storms. These tornadoes can be long tracked on the ground for several miles and for a long duration of time. Please heed all warnings. Take the alerts that come across your phone seriously. The warning on your phone may show for a different part of your area. I would still take shelter because these storms are going to be significant, and they can their track can change on a dime. So please heed our warnings. We want y'all to be safe.
Thank you, Dylan. I just wanted to share one more thing. With this image on the screen now, these storms that are on, and mind, this is the NAM 3 kilometer. But the image that this is showing here, this is so far out, it's not showing what's actually going to happen. This looks pretty weak here. But in real time, when this actually occurs, these storms will be a lot stronger than what they're looking at right now on this screen. So basically, every single green dot on here that you see right now will basically be, if not a supercell, then it will be some type of storm that will drop, maybe pea-sized hail. That's not related to storm. That's not related to like a major storm that will be occurring as a supercell. But some of these more yellow spots that you're seeing and orange spots in here could be supercells or even a QLCS event, which is quasi-linear convective, I believe, system. Dylan, am I right? Sorry.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, I don't know if I got that wording exactly correct, but it's something along those lines. I don't know exactly 110% of every weather terminology out there, but I'm learning and I'm guiding you guys through this as we go, and so is Dylan. Dylan is part of a group that I cannot share publicly, but is definitely a major group that knows what they're talking about. Unfortunately, I cannot share that publicly, as I said. But just guys, please be prepared. Please take this very seriously.
We want everyone to be prepared. It's quite literally, it's what got me into others. I want people to be prepared. We want to, like I've said, I sound like a broken record. We don't want to scare you. We want to prepare you. We check all make sure everything you have, keep an eye to the sky. If you hear thunder, stay inside. I've never seen such a high probability of severe storms 3 days out. This is looking to be a very historic event.
Yeah.
So the hatched risk, so the black outline with the basically sideways raindrops, what would look like in a cartoon, shows where the storm is expected to be most significant. So any point within 25 miles of any of the brown, the yellow, the red, or the pinkish purple shade is expected to experience severe weather. And that's even if you're slightly outside that risk. You, within 25 miles of any point, could see storms strong to severe this weekend. Most likely it'll be in the red and purple areas, but that does not mean it can't happen outside of that risk zone. So we want everyone to be prepared.
Yes, thank you, Dylan. And one more thing, I know I keep dragging this video on. We're almost at 20 minutes here. New Orleans, Louisiana, Birmingham, Alabama, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Montgomery, Alabama, and Mobile, Alabama. These are some of the more notable cities in this 45% risk. Nashville, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia, Columbus, Georgia, Knoxville, Tennessee, and Huntsville, Alabama are some of the most notable cities in the 30% risk. And mind you, if these two risks are hatched, which means 10% or greater probability of significant severe weather within 25 miles of a point. And then last but certainly not least, Columbus, Ohio, Memphis, Tennessee, Cleveland, Ohio, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Cincinnati, Ohio. You guys are in the yellow shade, which is a 15% severe probability. And this is still 3 days out. So if the SBC issues something like this 3 days out, they're definitely not doing it to scare you. They're not doing it for the giggles. They're doing it because this is a more serious event. And I don't mean to throw this terminology out there, but in our community, the weather community, there is people that we like to call weather weenies. And all jokes aside, the National Weather Service and SBC usually does not like to issue more significant storms due to these so-called weather weenies, as they will fearmonger and spread false information. But we are not here to do that. We are here to give you the real facts, and the real fact is that this will be a significant storm. The real fact is that you need to have these precautions in place to protect yourself, especially if you're in that 45% hatch and 30% hatch risk. Just please, guys, take our word seriously. If you're not going to take our word, please go visit www.spc.noaa.gov so you can see the stuff for yourself, or the National Weather Service's website as well. Those are two of governmental run weather agencies that are the ones that put out these outlooks, just in case you didn't believe us.
And the National Weather Service, sorry to interrupt you there, Ryan,
It's okay.
is the only entity that can issue severe weather warnings, whether that be your tornado warnings, your severe thunderstorm warnings, flash flood warnings. All of those are only issued by the National Weather Service offices within your community. I'd also encourage you to follow them, and this is not meant to promote in any way, but follow your local National Weather Service office on your social media platform of choice, as they will also post severe thunderstorm warnings, any weather warnings, watches that you need to know about. They will also post on their social media pages. That's so just another way to the countless methods we've already discussed in the last half hour to be weather aware.
Thank you again, Dylan. And if you guys can please like this and share this to get this information out there, whether you have family or friends or just in general to the people down there in the South, if you can please like this or share this and get this information out there, that would mean the world to us. That would mean the world to them. You would literally be giving them life-saving information potentially.
Definitely.
So I know we're carrying on 24 minutes here, 23 minutes here, but please subscribe as well. We're not doing that just to throw our name out there. We're doing that because I don't know about Dylan, but I, as myself, made a choice about 10 minutes ago that I will be going live tomorrow for the area in Illinois down through Mississippi and Louisiana, and I will also potentially be going live on Saturday pending plans, and we do plan on storm chasing the East Coast on Sunday, potentially pending certain conditions.
Yep. I'm also willing to go live tomorrow to help track the storm in real time.
Alright, so you heard it from Dylan. We are going live tomorrow to track the storm, because it will definitely be it'll be one for the record books. I'm gonna say that. Anyway,
Definitely.
guys, we have to end it here. We're closing in on 25 minutes. Thank you, guys. Please share this information as much as you can. Friends, family, strangers, you guys have to get this information out there. This is a very significant event, and just thank you guys a lot. It means a lot.